Hi, and welcome to the second part of the brush tutorial using Craft Artist and Digital Scrapbook Artist 2. In this tutorial we're going to learn how to make custom frames and borders with brushes. We're going to learn how to create text brushes and also some spray nozzle brushes. So there's a lot to cover. Let's get started. This is a custom frame that I created with brushes, and that brush is the Lace 4 brush. So let's go and take a look at that. Click on Brushes and Photos and Lace 4. And I'm going to just quickly create a couple of these brushes. I'm going to go to Shapes and I'm going to create a rectangle here and select it and click on Lace 4 and increase the size. And that creates a nice lace border around my rectangle. And to create all these different types of frames, I'm going to use the effect under Editable called Chewed Gum. So that's how to create the first frame. The second is easily created by going back to Brushes, right click on Lace 4, Edit, and change the mode from Simple to Stretch, and then apply it. And you'll now see that the second type of frame has been created. If you want a more polished looking frame, as this one is, there's one more step. You'll need to create your own brush for this, as we did in the first tutorial. So what we'll do is we'll use Lace 4 and turn on the brush, and we're just going to draw a segment of that lace. So there it is, and next we're going to select it. I'm going to straighten it a little bit and go to Effects and put that chew gum effect on it. I think I'll squeeze it in a little bit so it's looking kind of like this one. So now all we do is we export it as a brush, as you did in the first. I'll just do it very quickly just as a reminder. We'll go to File, Export, Export as Image, and make sure this is HD photo, and selected items. We're going to export it, and we'll put it into Brushes, and we'll call it Gum. Okay, and now then when we go to Brushes and we go to our directory, my brushes, right click, Add, browse for a different texture, and I'm going to search for gum.wdp and open. So here's my new brush, and I'm going to drag the head and the tail in and say OK. And now I can now create this custom brush. So let's go ahead and create another shape here. Select it, and let's find our new brush, Gum. And we'll increase the size. And there you see you have that nice new, very custom frame. And as you can see, this looks a little different here in the corner. This is actually that half a segment, and the other half, that's this and this, that doesn't get stretched. And I kind of like that effect, but we'll learn a little later how you can put a little embellishment in the corner. Here's another custom frame using the this copy of flower. I named it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It looks just kind of like a metal flower that I created a brush from and applied a blue plastic effect and put it into stretch mode, and as you can see, it makes a very nice looking frame. Here's a frame from that same brush, and I put a wood effect on it. So let's try that ourselves right now. I'm going to go to shapes and I'm going to create, let's try a different shape this time. Let's try a circle. So we'll draw out our circle and select it and move it down. We're going to apply the flower and move it out. And this time we're going to go to effects and we're going to go to wood effects. And we can just try different ones to see how they look. Until you get just the right look that you're looking for. So as you can see, you have so many possibilities. Alright, now next I'm going to show you how to create a page border with any one of these. We're going to go to layers and make sure that we're selecting our background. So our background is selected. And then we're going to go back to brushes and we're going to just pick anyone. I'm going to stick with that copy of flower, metallic flower brush, and increase the size. And as you can see, it is putting a nice page border on that background. You can also create a rectangle and then just drag it out bigger, but I think this makes a little nicer appearance and keeps the aspect ratio. Here's a daisy. If we want to edit it and put it into simple mode, you'll see it'll just repeat the daisy. So you can toggle these two modes back and forth, whether you're just creating a simple brush to draw or you're creating an outline for a frame. So let's just do a couple more. Here's a ribbon brush. This is that custom brush that we just created. Here's a word brush that you'd need to, you can't see the words, so for this one I believe you'd need to change the offset. So there is a word brush that I think it says, let's zoom in a little to see what it says. It says, "You are the love of my life," all the way around. We're going to get into creating word brushes a little bit later. But different brushes are going to create different effects for your borders. And if you want to see if you can't make this join, you can adjust the size, and that repeats that pattern so that it has just enough to make it go all the way around. Okay, so that's how you create a page border. Here is a very nice frame using that same flower in a stretch mode. Now this page is just showing you that you don't need to just have a rectangular frame. This was a star shape that I put lace for and a marble effect. This is the shape of a happy face that I applied the daisy. You can also change that and put it into stretch, and you'll see that it creates a whole different effect. And this is just a photo that I did an outline instead of creating the rectangle first, and applied a brush to it. So let's move on. This page was created totally with brushes. The background was a stretch daisy that you basically kind of finger paint with and then change it back to simple and decorate it with some daisies. This is some word brushes that I created, you selecting a daisy and this phrase and turning it into a brush. So there's a lot that you can do with the daisy. Here is a frame for the daisy, and here's a frame. Now on this corner, I promised you I'd show you some things that you can do differently. All I did here was, let's move this out of the way. I created this frame with the stretch daisy, and then I can take this and click on the brush and just kind of go up here and do that, and you'll get a nice daisy effect. So that's one way you can do it. Let's get rid of this. That's a beautiful picture. Now let's go to this one and I'll show you another way that you can do it. Let's cut this out. We're going to create a frame, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can modify the frame. So we're going to create a rectangular frame, and we'll just stay with this same frame here. Okay, now I want to show you a couple things. If I right click on this and I go into edit and I modify these beginning and end segments, you're going to see a difference in how the beginning and end of the frame, see, that kind of stretches it out more like a point. If we go back into it and edit it and we drag this in farther, it's going to have a more defined beginning and end in the stretch mode, of course. Now, if we want to put a decorative corner, that looks better than it did, but if we want to put a decorative corner on there, we can just click on any of these brushes, but we'll click on the same brush and click on brush, and now we can just kind of do the same thing that we did with the daisy, kind of just go in that corner, and you can kind of circle around a little bit to get like a flower effect. And every time you do that, it's going to have a different effect. So if you don't like that, you can delete it and try again. What I do recommend is once you have completed everything, to select it all, group it, and go to Tools and convert to bitmap. And this could take a minute or two. You might want to decrease the DPI, and I think it makes it a little quicker. Now, if we want to save this as a frame, we can go into Frame and just drag it over. And then we can delete this and bring it back in and go to Photos and just pick any photo and drop it in. So there you have how to create a frame. And let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is spray nozzles for a brush, and I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to do this. At least it might be easier for me, but it may be easier for you as well. I kind of find the best way to do this is to go back into Photos and find one that has a spray nozzle. You'll be able to tell because it'll have like a aerosol can next to it. Let's pick the purple flowers one, and what I do is I just do a copy, and it has all these settings, and then you can just play with them. And then I just click on one of them, right click, and I say replace the nozzle. Now I grabbed and saved, you save some flowers from one of your kits or one of your JPEGs, and open it up, and then you just replace these with your own flowers. Let's see, flower 2, and replace nozzle. We'll pick up flower 3. And we'll leave this fourth one there. Now, one thing that I generally change is the vertical jitter. That's how far out it goes. If you see it stretching it in, this is more like a line. It doesn't, but it depends on what you're wanting to do. So let's just, for this sake, I'm going to bring this down. You can do the same with the horizontal jitter. And we're going to save it in our brushes. So I guess the point was I just always just go to one that's already existing and modify it. However, you can create one new as a spray nozzle if you like. So now it's going to take my new photos that I replace with theirs and store it into my brushes. So we're going to call it, let's not call it copy of, we're going to call it new spray brush. Okay. Now if we go into my brushes and go down to alphabetically to new spray brush, and then we spray. Now we don't have to go back to photos if we want to edit it. We can edit it right here, and we can increase that vertical jitter and then spray again. Again, as I often mention, if you don't want these to change later and you want it to stay the same and you're changing things, you want to go to Tools and Convert to Bitmap, and that kind of freezes whatever your image is, because actually these are still all brushes. They're not images until you do convert it to bitmap, and then you can move it all around and size it. So that's how you create a spray brush. And one thing I'll show you real quick. Let's clean these out of the way. If you have flowers and embellishments, and we'll bring it over here, and you want to include them in a spray brush, you would just, as we did in the first segment, and what I did with these three to bring them in, is just to export them as we learned how to do with File Export as Image. So that's how I just wanted to let you know how I took these three from a kit and made them available for my spray brush. Okay, we're almost done here. We just have some to talk a little bit about creating a text brush. You can easily create a text brush just by going into text, typing the text, and then also bringing in an embellishment and sizing it. For this one I used a heart, but you can use any. You don't even need to use an embellishment if you just want words. But if you want them both, you just click on them both and group them. And then again, you're going to File, Export, Export as Image, and then you're going to import them by adding a new brush. So what I wanted to show you here in this demonstration is the different sizes of the text. I created 3 brushes, Love, Love 2, and Love 3. And the first one I had this size font, and it created I believe it was this Love, Love. And then I created this larger font and it created Love 3. So if you create a brush and it's not quite big enough, you can create another one, or if you want to have various sizes. So let's just kind of zoom in here and you'll see the difference. This heart, I did an outline and included, applied the love brush, and on this one I used the Love 3 brush, so it's a little bit bigger. And the other thing is, you don't necessarily have to have the text go all the way around. You can just apply that brush and you can just do part of it and then move it where you want to and change a little bit of the attributes by, let's move this out of the way so you can see that. You can edit points, and then you can drag it a little bit to get it just where you want which is what I did for these to get them to be just at the top of the heart. So it's kind of like having text on the path, which is very nice for people in DSA2 who do not have the text on path features that Craft Artist does. So that's it for my tutorial. I've covered text and spray nozzles and custom borders and frames. I hope you have a lot of fun with these. Now I'm going to give you a teaser for the next GBAT is going to be again the last and final segment on brushes. We're going to learn how to import Photoshop brushes and modify them. This frame was created with a Photoshop brush, and all of these were Photoshop brushes that I applied different effects on. And here is one more. So as you can see, we can do some pretty nice things. Photoshop brushes aren't just brushes, though. They're more like this one is just an image that we can apply effects to, and some are actual brushes. So that'll be fun, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and have a great day.